Nearly half a century after her passing, Agatha Christie's reputation as the Queen of Crime remains unshaken. With more than 60 novels and dozens of short story collections, her works have become timeless staples of the mystery genre. Among her many creations, none captured the imagination of readers quite like Hercule Poirot, the meticulous Belgian detective whose sharp intellect and eccentric charm made him one of the most iconic sleuths in literary history. But every great detective story must end, and Christie ensured Poirot's farewell was as memorable as it was heartbreaking. That ending came in Curtain, Poirot's Last Case, 1975, a novel that shocked the world and remains one of the most tragic conclusions in the history of crime fiction. Returning to where it all began, Christie gave Poirot's final adventure a poetic symmetry by setting it at Styles' court, the very location where he first appeared in The Mysterious Affair at Styles, 1920. In the book, Poirot, now confined to a wheelchair due to age and illness, summons his lifelong friend Captain Hastings for one last investigation. Their quarry is an unseen menace Poirot refers to only as X, a manipulative figure capable of inciting others to murder while remaining untouchable himself. Unlike Poirot's earlier adversaries, X is not a killer in the conventional sense, but a psychological puppet master whose power lies in coercion. This makes him, in Poirot's eyes, the most dangerous opponent of all. The Final Sacrifice. What unfolds is both a classic Christie mystery and a deeply human story of moral struggle. Poirot realizes that conventional justice cannot contain X, and in a shocking departure from his principles, he takes matters into his own hands. Feigning physical frailty, Poirot secretly orchestrates X's downfall, killing him to ensure he can never manipulate another victim again. But this victory comes at a terrible price. Racked with guilt and unwilling to live with the burden of his choice, Poirot refuses the heart medication that keeps him alive, leaving his fate in the hands of God. When Hastings later discovers Poirot's manuscript confession, readers learn the truth, that the detective's death was not simply from natural causes, but also the result of his own moral reckoning. It was a deliberate farewell, equal parts justice and self-destruction. A cultural shockwave. The impact of Curtain was enormous. So great was Poirot's popularity that the New York Times published a front-page obituary for the fictional detective, the first and only time the paper has honored a character in such a way. Readers around the world mourned him as though he were real, a testament to how deeply Christie had embedded Poirot into the collective imagination. What made the ending so powerful was not just the death of a beloved character, but the way Christie framed it. Poirot, a man defined by his devotion to justice, sacrificing his principles and his life in one final act of duty. It was both shocking and heartbreakingly fitting. A farewell written in advance. Interestingly, Christie had written Curtain decades earlier, during World War II, and kept it locked away in a safe. Fearing the uncertainties of wartime, she wanted to ensure Poirot's story would be complete even if she did not live to finish it herself. By publishing it in 1975, just months before her own death, she gave Poirot the closure he deserved and her readers the sense of completeness she had always intended. Poirot's enduring legacy. Though his death was mourned, Poirot's legacy only grew stronger. He remains one of the most recognizable detectives in literature, frequently adapted for stage and screen, with actors from David Suchet to Kenneth Branagh keeping his brilliance alive for new generations. Curtain, Poirot's Last Case, is remembered not only as one of Christie's boldest works, but also as one of the most moving farewells ever written. It gave fans an ending that was tragic, inevitable, and unforgettable, a reminder that even great detectives are not immortal, but their stories will live forever.